Texas foods have you learned to like down here?
I like all the food down here. You know, this is the cosmopolitan city now, so, but I haven't had anything that I don't like. I found a lot of neat restaurants, so a lot of Tex-Mex stuff that I kind of like. But I lived in San Antonio for 6 years, so, you know, Dallas is a big city. You can get anything you want in there. I haven't had a bad meal yet.
You worked, coach, or played with some of the most successful people in basketball. What are common attributes you see in successful people?
Great players. I think, you know, obviously you got to have good players. You got to be lucky enough to have a great staff, which I've always been fortunate enough in that regard. I think most teams that are successful, they defend and rebound, play hard and share the ball. So, and then you have high character kids. Even if they're not great players, they'll give you a chance to win.
Who's the toughest player you played against?
A lot, you know, a lot. I can't. I remember when I was a young boy, the toughest guy I ever played against was Larry Costello. And I don't think anybody would remember him, but he was an old pro, and he was mean as a snake, and I was just a young kid. He just kind of taught me how to play a little bit. I grew up in a playground, you know, where all older guys and a lot of old pro players. And I was real young, and they all taught me how to play.
You guys have been talking a lot about defense and practicing a lot on defense. Are you kind of seeing some improvement in that area to your liking?
No, I've just been watching film the last few days. We're way behind, you know, so got to do a lot more. But that's the nice thing about filming our practices. You know, you got an idea how you play them, but then film usually doesn't lie. So, you know, that's an area that got to be your most consistent thing, that and rebounding.
What specifically do you want to see improvements on the defensive end from?
I mean, well, we got to get better individually and keeping people in front of us, and we got to get better as a group getting back on defense. But a lot of times that if you have good offense, you have good transition defense. We got to rebound better, which is part of defending, and then team-wise, we got to all be in sync. You know, you can have deficiencies individually, but if you have good team defense, you usually can stay in games, and we got to get better in that regard. That's what practice is for, though.
You've been doing also a lot of, I heard you talking a lot about screens.
Excuse me?
I've heard you talking a lot about screens, both offensive and defensive end, and you mentioned you're not where you're at where you want to be defensively, but are you seeing some good things in that regard on the offensive end of the ball?
We're getting better. You know, yesterday was our best day in that regard. But we hadn't spent a whole lot of time on offense till just recently, and so, you know, we're making better decisions, we're screening better, we're using screens better, but again, we got a lot of work to do. It's still early, so we don't play till the 14th of November, so, you know, we just got to keep trying to improve.
Anything else, guys?
Okay.
All right.